my screen visible?
Yes, yes, Kishore.
Okay, with me. So while I'm presenting, I may not be able to see chat. So in case if there is any message, I'll request Akanksha if you can just share
Sure.
with me. Good evening and welcome you all. So today we are going to discuss an interesting subject which has a direct bearing with our coaching practice, and it is understanding CAS, CAS, cognitive attention score. But before we get into the details, a short intro about who I am. So you might have known, my name is Kishore Thakur. I am a ICF credentialed PCC coach. And prior to being a coach, I worked in various companies as a finance professional, starting my career from being an accounts clerk, literally doing ledger posting manually when there were no computers. From that time, growing to be a CFO of a small mid-size SME-sized company doing, say, around 1,000 crore business. And from there, one fine day, it just occurred to me that I should become a coach because that looks very interesting. And, it's initially it appeared very fancy title, being a coach. And then when, to cut the long story short, when got into it, then I realized it's really one of the most beautifully interesting profession. And for last, say, 4 or 5 years, I have been into full-time practice. And I'm really very excited being a coach and very happy to connect with you all with the subject of CAS. Okay. In case anyone has any question about me or anything, please do type, or anything that I share, do type in the chat box. And wherever possible, if I'm not able to, oh, that is nice. Definitely, if you really use CAS properly, you can see plenty of cash. And appropriate use of CAS can really result in pom-pom in your life. And what I call is pom-pom means plenty of money with peace of mind. Interested in pom-pom?
So poetic, sir. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Kishore.
So, Anandji, welcome. When I was thinking about CAS, and as a coach, when we are working on credential and all those things, so first thing that keeps running in our mind are the 8 competencies. Okay. So if we look at, I'm not going to talk more about competencies in detail, but if you see competency 2, that embodying coaching mindset. Okay. Competency 4, that as a coach you cultivate trust and safety. Competency 5, a coach maintains presence. And competency 6, that a coach listens actively. To be able to do that, what is one thing as a coach you need to be very effective with respect to these 4 competencies? You may just type your response in chat. One thing that you need to be effective with respect to these 4 competencies. Competency 2 embodies a coaching mindset. Competency 4 cultivates trust Competency 5 maintains presence, and competency 6 listens actively. So what is one thing as a coach we need to be effective to these 4 competencies? Yeah, being present. So what will make us be present? Deep listening. Yes. So what is one thing that you need to be able to do that deep listening and be present? Keep thinking, and we'll continue. Yes, that's what it is. These are the questions. What comes to your mind? We know there's not one single answer that satisfies everything, right? So, what is one most powerful and fundamental resource we need to be able to achieve these 3 things that helps me to, be and grow as a coach, that helps me, enables me so that I can serve my client better, and that enables me to get whatever I want to achieve and have? What's one thing that comes to your mind? One resource, fundamental resource. Accurate assessment of client's need. Ability to engage in thinking. Absolutely. Yeah. Let us hear more thoughts. Okay. Let us think of one thing. The moment we sit in front of TV to watch our favorite program, what is one thing which keeps disturbing us, distracting us, not letting us watch the program, without interruption? Commercial advertisements, ad breaks. So why these companies, all the brands who spend in millions and millions of dollars for those 10 second, 20-second commercial advertisements, why do they spend that much money for that 10 seconds? What do they want? Any thought? Our attention, absolutely. So, if I want to influence someone, first thing I need to have is their attention, right? If they can't have our attention, they are not going to get money from us, right? So if we can't have someone's attention, it is very difficult to get their time. So whatever we want to do, if I want to get a job done, I need someone's attention. Then only I can get the job done through him or her. So one thing that's important, anything that we do in our life, we need our attention and energy. Is that clear? Okay. And when we think of attention and energy. Okay. I would like to share one small case with you. And this is a case of one of the clients that I had. And this client came to me in coaching for financial planning. And this person did not have any challenge with respect to money because his monthly take-home salary from Indian standard was really good. Good in terms of, say, 6 digit. And what triggered him for getting into, say, coaching for financial planning was there was a time when he needed for some urgent work, some 15 lakh rupees, and he didn't have that money with him. And he had to take someone's help to fulfill those needs. And think of someone who, let me stop share and look at. Just think of a person who is making, say, 10 lakhs a month. And the person has to, for just 15 lakh rupees, some need, if he has to go out and seek someone's help, what would that person think of himself? And that was the time this person got a trigger and he comes in coaching with that there's something, some issues with his financial planning and he wanted to discuss that. And what we discovered in coaching, that the truth is that he has a really very good salary income. But however good it may be, but he knew that it's still limited. Okay. Make sense? So if something is limited, I need to know how I am spending that so that I have enough of that money available for my important needs. Do we do this with our money? Right? Now, I'm coming to the attention part. How do we earn our money? We use our energy and attention to earn our money. Have we ever thought that our energy and attention is also limited in supply? And have we thought how our energy and attention is being used? Okay, just going back to my screen. So, screen share. So we need energy and attention to accomplish anything that we want. And how do we spend our attention and energy? There are three types of functions through which we consume our attention. One is physiological function, two, emotions, and three, cognition. Our attention is being used by our body to keep it healthy, to maintain starting from heartbeat, blood circulation, to whatever body function, hands, limbs movement. In all these activities, our attention is used. Then, for our emotional needs, attention is being used. Different things happen. We become angry, we sad, we are happy, we are excited, we celebrate. So in all kinds of emotion, our energy is used. After this energy, attention is used for physiological and emotional functions. Whatever is left over, that remaining we are using for our cognitive function. Okay. Now, this balance, that what percentage of our attention is consumed by our emotions and thinking, and whatever is left, this balance is called cognitive attention score. If there was a tool and which will allow us to measure that energy and attention, how much attention is available for my important task, will that be helpful? Just think of the first question we started, the 4 competencies of coaching. Think of a coach whose, say, 80% of the attention is consumed by emotions and physiological functions. Is it going to be easy for that coach to practice those 4 competencies? Coaching mindset, being present, active listening. Is it going to be easy? Cultivating the environment of safety and trust. Another coach having, say, 70% available for cognitive function. Now, which coach is going to be more effective? It's not about the 2 coaches, both have same set of tools to them. But if their CAS score is low and one has high, the effectiveness as a coach, how is it going to be impacted? Same way, if as a coach, we have a tool which helps us measure the CAS score of client, that client is coming in session and the client's available attention is only 10%. Then as a coach, we know how to help this client, right? So today we are going to talk about this tool. This tool helps us to find cognitive attention score. We can find our own score and we can work to improve that score. And the same way, when we find the score of our client and we, through our coaching practice, we help the client to move the score, what happens? The quality of life of client also improves. And this score gives us a measurable impact of our coaching. This CAS score is based on a premise, based on the, say, psychology, that you can call it yoga and Vedanta psychology. What is contained in those texts. So based on that, and then when you, what you say, marry the concepts of algorithms of AI with the knowledge contained in our 5,000-year-old ancient texts, the tool that has come is CAS, cognitive attention score. Okay, we call it Yogi meter. So a company who has developed this tool is known as Seeker, C-E-E-K-R. Okay, and Seeker has been mining the knowledge contained in Vedanta Upanishads, because if you look at those scriptures, you will know that for thousands of years, people have been doing research on working of human minds. Okay, so taking that knowledge and developing a concept of choice-making mind model, that how our mind makes choices and how those choices impact our quality of life and our environment. Okay, based on that, and creating a matrix, algorithm, and a tool, and this gives you CAS. what happens? If a person with low CAS score can have it's impairing, the cognition will be quite impairing because there is not enough of attention available for your problem solving, for the important things, because it is at subconscious level, it is consumed, major part is consumed by emotional and physiological things. You can just imagine a case. In case someone has a headache, can we focus on anything when we are having headache? So entire attention is consumed by physiological function. So if we learn how to manage our attention and measure it, it can improve quality of our coaching. High CAS score means you reach a stage. It is a sustained cognition stage, we call it. Okay. So that way we can say that someone can have either attention deficit or attention surplus. I'm not talking about ADHD as a disease part of it. Okay. When that goes to beyond certain level, becomes really so low, there it may lead to those kind of issues. So attention deficit, and if that is very low, say less than 20 kind of, that might lead to anxiety, depression, and those disorders where a person might need clinical intervention. And when you move from attention deficit to attention surplus, focus, attention, the quality of work that we do, that improves. So what can we do is with CAS report, and I'm going to share a sample report with you. That is when if someone takes a test, then how the complete report looks like. And as a coach, how can we use them in our coaching practice? Okay. So we can measure our current CAS score. What it tells us, that report tells us what are our blind spots or the cause, what are the causes which is causing this attention deficit. Okay. And there are markers which talks about our positive and negative tendencies. I'm going to show you on the report how it looks like. Okay. And how the current score, if I look at my current score, how is it going to impact my choice making? The kind of choices that I make, how that is going to impact my decisions with respect to prosperity, relationship, my stress, my effectiveness. And here, Seeker provides a support system, okay, how we can help a person, a client, move from attention deficit to attention surplus stage. Okay. And then say we start a coaching client, a new coaching contract. And let us say to begin with, this is what I do, is I ask the client, okay, why don't you take this test? So client takes one test, a score. Say the score comes 50. 3 months we do coaching. And say after 45 days, we ask him to take one more test. And he looks at his score. And now he himself sees the 50 has moved to say 65 or 70. And not only that, because of this movement of score, he can see that in his life experiences. And that gives me, so a kind of show it to the client that, hey, there is a measurable impact of coaching is measurable and I'm able to measure that. Okay. So we did discuss about low CAS, high CAS. Let me show you a sample report. I will just stop share and then open the other window. Just pulling out a report. You can see my screen, right? I'm just sharing a sample report. Actually, this is individual, but to mask the name, we have just changed the name to test 90 for confidentiality purpose. Okay. So now you get the mindset score, CAS score of, say, here it is 44.1, and there can be a short audio, what this mindset means. The person can listen to that. It could be a 2-minute audio. Then before I come to the corrective action that a person can do to improve his score is also available. Okay. And in this case, it says that you can see 54.8% of his attention is consumed by feeling and thinking. 45% here available for solving problems, and it gives you different reasons: stagnation cause, compulsiveness, blind spots, productivity, and effort reward ratio. In this case, it's like high effort, low reward. Okay. And its impact on relationship, prosperity. And here you get a very nice, what we call is 60 days happiness forecast. At this current mindset level, the choices that this person's mind is going to make, it is going to create these kind of days. Okay. And each days can have a different interpretation. I can look at it. If I want to see what struggling days means, it can have its own interpretation. And what bliss days means can have a different. Okay. So goal of the client, of a coach is I should help my client to move towards these top three, that bliss days, balance days, and growth days. If the client has more number of days here, less in the bottom three, quality of life is going to be better. Okay. What I see here is we get something on mental wellness score, under pressure. And then these are and this tendency of the mind tells that these are the concern area for this particular client. And this opens up so many goals for coaching. I can get into and different positive tendencies. You can see score around empathy, consistency, living in present moment, timeliness, fundamental inquisitiveness, change. Same way, there are markers on negative tendencies. This is really found tendency about feeling guilty, tendency to feel fear, anxiety, or insecurity. These are various positive and negative tendencies of mind. And there is a number. How the score is impacting the effectiveness of a person. You can look at the overall effectiveness score, and it gives you an insight into internal effectiveness and external effectiveness. To outside world, the person can be very successful, but internally, the score can be low. And there, as a coach, we get into what are the effectiveness barriers. And like that, we can see details in every aspect, relationship, stress, emotions. Okay. And what we do additional here is, say, for a corporate, let us say one department, some 20 or 30 people are there, and they are taking this test and report, and they need support. Now, individual report of every individual client is confidential, is available to him or her only. But a group report can be generated from this tool, which can give to the boss or to the manager that how the stress level of team is and what is the trust level within the team or goal orientation of the team. So in different parameters, how a team is performing. And when we navigate that team through coaching, say 2 months, 3 months, and then we take the test again, then overall team score, we can give it to the management showing that, hey, this is how the movement has happened. I'll go back to slide again. And so this is what we can show to the client. Initially, it was here. After coaching, you moved. So we can show movement, and that helps us in demonstrate the ROI of coaching. And would you like to know what's your CAS score? All you need to do is just scan this QR code. It may take 2 or 3 minutes time. Scan this code, answer few questions, what is being asked, and you can look at your own score. So any question, any thought, any comment? Okay. I will encourage you, Anandji, to take the test and look at your own report and see how is it, because we have with us here the Karthik has been one of the coaches who uses this tool CAS very extensively. I personally use them. I would have personally used it maybe close to some 250 times or so. Okay. So, Karthik, you would like to share your experience with respect to Yogi Meter and Seeker?
Yeah, Kishore, thanks. I think I really like the way you connected the ICF competencies to CAS because pretty much I've experienced it as a coach. So when I really felt the transformation in me, my CAS improved at the same time. My presence in coaching also improved. So that's a kind of personal sharing that I want to do. Apart from that, as Kishore said, I've been using it with my clients because I found it beneficial for myself. And I think one of the biggest benefits I've seen is this when the kind of awareness it brings to them in terms of what they're doing with their attention and energy. That's something that's really empowering for them. And the other part is as they go through the coaching journey, when they see that there is something that changed in their life, and also they see it validated by a score which also shows a change, it really means a lot to them. So these two are something which I really found it very useful for my coach practice. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share. So thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, Karthik. Any other question? Pooja, you are able to complete the test? Done? Any question, comment? Raj, you want to say anything? Share.
No, thanks for connecting, as Karthik said, Kishore, the competencies. Just for the benefit of the others, it's something that I got interested in thanks to some of the sharing that Kishore had done earlier. I'm also part of the Abhyudaya Circle, but in the context of that journey, something that CAS is something I started learning more about. Taken my own test, I've seen some significant shift in some areas in my personal front. I haven't yet started using it for my clients. I'm a coach as well, and ICF credential coach. So looking forward to doing that. But in order to do that, I'm going through a little bit of more familiarization with the model itself. So looking forward to that. Thanks, Kishore.
Thank you. Do we have any other question, thought?
I think, Kishore sir, the one thought that I have in my mind is that when am I taking this test can also, I think, make a difference in terms of what the results are. Just a thought that I have. But there is a possibility once I've done this entire test, maybe I think this thought might get cleared. But that's what I was thinking earlier when you were mentioning, when you were talking about the CAS.
Yes.
That,
I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
Now, when we take the other psychometric tests, there the psychometric test put us in a block, a bucket. That is, okay, this is your type. You take your Gallup strength test, they say this is your top 5, this is what you are. You take MBTI, they say this is what you are. You take this is what you are. Now, here what I connect is this. Let us look at the process, how our mind works. If you look at your own smartphone has, one is hardware part, and second you have the OS, the operating system. Okay. Now, without operating system, the hardware is not going to function. Right. Now, this smartphone is using electrical signal for work. So every time for upgrade, it requires a manual push to upgrade to next version of the operating system. Same way, we have our human brain. Okay. And we look at the brain as a hardware. And mindset is the operating system which is operating that hardware. Okay. And this mindset can be, you can call, when I say mindset, so if you look at mind, there can be a different subminds to it. The subminds could be like your internal reaction mind, your embedded pattern mind, feeling mind. What this concept, how this CAS has been evolved, I'm just giving you some breakdown.
Sure.
So it is like starting from your internal reaction, embedded pattern, feeling mind, desire mind, thinking mind, rule mind, goal mind, analytical mind, goal mind. So there are 8 subminds. Out of these 8 subminds, only goal mind is operating at 100% consciousness level. Whereas remaining 7 subminds are at some level of unconsciousness. So we don't even know that is how that is working. Okay. Now, how it is happening, and all of us know about how our body is working. We receive input through our sense organs, 5 sense organs, like we call it knowledge organs, let us say. So we receive input. These inputs go into, once again. So these inputs, when it is received, it is going through different databases. Some process happens at mind level, software level, that a meaning making or labeling is happening, right? The moment labeling is happening, what happens at thalamus level? The moment we identify that this input which my mind has received is, say, an exciting happiness moment. The moment this labeling happens, a set of hormones is released, right? Either happy hormones or sad hormones, depending on the meaning that we have assigned. So, and accordingly, these hormones, so how our brain is working, it is a combination of electrical plus electrochemical. So all this, so there is an auto upgrade of mind is continuously happening. What Seeker has done through its continuous study and research, they have identified that humans, we have 351 different versions of mindset. You can call it like we have got different versions of our operating system. Same way, 300 different versions of mindset humans are using. At any given point of time, we are using one of them. And this mindset is subject to change every 40 to 45 days. Our circadian calendar, rhythm. Okay. Now, this change can happen either towards upward. Today, my score, let us say, is 50. If I leave it as it is, 2 months later, my score can be either 30 or it can go to 70, depending on what is happening around me, circumstances. Okay. But if I take remedial corrective action supported by coaching, so what I do, I am making sure that my next upgrade is going to be in upward spiral only. I know this is a long answer to a short question.
That's all right. I'm actually busy, finishing up that
Test.
Yeah. Sorry,
Okay,
I might
please.
have missed a few things. Sorry.
And Anand, just to add to what Kishore said, when you answered, you would have seen that the assessment asked for your last, say, 3 weeks around patterns, right? So that takes care of, it's not kind of, you're only assessing yourself on what you're going through today, it's not. So that's why the 40-day upgrade part, what Kishore said, makes significance. When you consider your patterns over a past, say, 3 weeks, the assessment gives you more accurate results.
Do we have any other question, comment?
I think the one more thought that I had, Kishore, was somewhere you had mentioned that there is a individual thing that can be done. Of course, that's what we have done, and there is a group thing as well. So
Yeah.
obviously, the questions for the group will be different or same questions, and there is
Questions
a collective
to
report.
every individual is going to be same. Okay.
Okay, and then there is a group report that comes that for these set of people,
Yes.
this is what the collective score
Yes.
for each of the
Yeah.
parameters is. Acha, got it.
Because this report tells you the impact of your CAS on your relationships, on internal harmony, the different tendencies. Okay. And that can be combined.
Sure. It's, I mean, I must say it's quite vast when you are actually showing that sample report to us. Let's see what comes out and what is my report saying. Just trying to, go a little closer to it, understand it, and only then, as even Raj said, once I have taken it for myself, see how connected do I feel, how well that I'm able to understand, I think then probably I'll go towards using it for my participants or for my clients.
Initially, you may when you may see that your report is very short. That is called free report. What I have shown you is a full report. Okay. So once it's done, you can reach out to me. I can share to you and Pooja, whoever has taken the test. I will share with you my a promo code. So with that, you can access your full report without payment. For this program, we are offering that. And now to understand the report, basically, because if you want to understand everything by yourself, you may need to spend around, say, 2.5 to 3 hours. So and we have a training program where we train coaches how to understand and debrief this report to clients. Okay. And that can happen over, say, 30 minutes time. In 30 minutes, you can debrief the report to your client. But for that, we need to know the principles behind it. We should be ready to handle questions that client may have.
Absolutely.
And the first thought that may come to you, I did answer only some 10 questions, and how such huge report is coming from there, where it is coming from.
Sure.
Okay. So, and then there you learn about, science behind the remedies. That what we do is we take a very holistic approach to clients' growth. Through attention management remedies, we help them work at their physiological level, and for emotional and cognitive level, we support them with coaching. So when this works together, the impact on client is very fast and swift.
Thank you, Kishore. Thank you very much.
Yeah, let me do one thing. I will share the I shared the code which you can use to get your full report. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, I think towards the end it says that schedule a session with Kishore, and then it says get full report. So if I click on get full report, it will ask for a code. Let me try.
It will ask for money or coupon. So I'm giving you in chat.
So it's asking for have coupon code ? So this code will help me there, right?
Yes, I'm typing in the chat.
Sure.
It's there in chat.
Yeah, I see that. Just typing it.
And if you want to schedule a report reading with me,
then it's asking for the address and everything.
I'm giving you my number. You can just text me and we can schedule a mutual convenient time. We can discuss.
Sure. I have written down your number. If the need be, I will reach out to you, Kishore.
Okay, Karthik, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kishore. Thanks, everyone.
Bye,
Thank you,
Karthik.
Karthik.
You can stop recording.